a way better friend than I ever could be. I would not put up with this type of thing. Maybe that is why I don't have any friends. It is September, which means obligatory Amélie Nothomb video. So every year Amélie Nothomb releases her new novel at the end of August, and the first ever video that I made on this channel was about Amélie Nothomb's autobiographical novels. So I continue the tradition every year by reviewing her newest book for the sake of tradition. So if you've never read an Amélie Nothomb novel, I strongly recommend her. She is a Belgian writer with a very unique outlook on the world, one that I would describe. She somehow managed to retain her inner child, but as an adult, if that makes sense. So she kind of writes in the voice of a child, but with the experience of an adult. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's how I would describe her writing. She writes both fiction and non-fiction, and her books are always extremely entertaining. So go check her out if you haven't already, because you are seriously missing out. She's also had a rather interesting year. She did an interview on France Inter earlier on in the year where she reminded everyone what a massive metalhead she is, our sister in Satan. And she got to be more than just a fan this year by actually performing on a metal song with Serj Tankian. I swear I'm not making this up. They are both featured on a song by Aldebert, which I will link in the description. I am so happy to say that in this vast multiverse, I get to live in the reality where Amélie Nothomb and Serj Tankian sing in a song together. I just want to revel in that fact for a second. But let's talk about her new book. It is called The Impossible Return, and as soon as I saw this, the cover and the title, I knew what this was. This is her returning to Japan. So, as I said, if you haven't read Amélie Nothomb's books, she is the daughter of a diplomat. So she grew up traveling all over the world, but she was born in Japan, and Japan was the country that left the biggest mark on her, and she wanted to go back and live there as an adult but failed. She details this entire process through a series of novels that I will list here on the screen. This is why I always recommend to people when indulging in her work, especially her autobiographical work, is to go through them in order. Yeah, this writer comes with a lore. So in this book she writes about her friend who won a trip to Japan, just telling her to come with her. Like, she's not inviting her, she's just like, I've won 2 tickets to go to Japan, you're coming with me. And she doesn't have a choice in the matter. So they go to Japan and they start off by staying in this little inn that has its own live-in heron that they get to feed every night. Like, after their meal, they go and like feed the leftovers to the heron. It's the cutest thing. But her friend is also immensely picky and very moody. Like, whenever she's hungry, Amélie is like, oh my god, it's the end of the world. She needs to eat now or she's just gonna get into the most terrible of tempers. And when they're in the inn, her friend bursts into her room at like 2 AM and complains that she doesn't like her room because she can hear people talking. So she gets shown like other rooms in the inn, but she doesn't like any of them. So she's like, okay, we're just gonna go to another hotel. So they go out in the streets at like 2 AM and Amélie just like goes with her. She is a way better friend than I ever could be. I would not put up with this type of thing. Maybe that is why I don't have any friends. So because they can't find another inn or hotel to stay in, they end up like coming groveling back to the one that they left, and Amélie's friend actually gets into a sort of fight with the night manager, who apparently like super unpopular with the rest of the staff. So the rest of their stay, all the staff like are literally considering this woman like a member of the imperial family. They like bow to her. One of them like actually wants to like feed her. Like, put the food directly in her mouth because she feels like she's such a hero for standing up to this man who's really horrible to them, that she deserves to be treated in this extraordinary way. After that, they go to Tokyo, and Amélie has this rather insane moment on the train where she loses her ticket. So I want to read this passage to you. Now bear in mind that this book is in French and hasn't yet been released in English, so I am directly translating this in my own way. The future translation of this book might be a bit different, so bear with me. In the Shinkansen, on the way to Tokyo, I had a rather ridiculous moment. I lost my train ticket. I emptied my bag. I just couldn't find it. I had the little pay slip for it, which I showed to the ticket master to prove that I wasn't lying. He believed me, but explained to me that once we got to Tokyo, I would have to present myself to the authorities. The authorities of Tokyo train station. That thought really scared me. It's because of the machine, he said. My terror grew. I imagined a machine that tore apart train users who didn't have tickets. Because I was 5 years old since the previous day, I started crying. The ticket master sent me his female co-worker in the hope that her female gentleness would calm my tears and also my embarrassment. The other passengers looked really concerned. My friend just mocked me. Crying over a ticket, really? The ticket lady spoke to me with the gentleness of a mum. Her discourse came in a calming voice, but was nonetheless stern, so I started crying even more. And my 5-year-old brain did not think of wiping away those tears. Disgusted, the amiable employee of the Shinkansen ended up asking me if I did not own one honourable tissue. I opened my bag and got out a small packet of Kleenex, and then, oh miracle, my train ticket had slid in between two of the tissues. I screamed with joy and brandished the ticket in front of her. She congratulated me as if she was talking to a child with learning disabilities. The drama was finally over and she was this close to giving me a Hello Kitty sticker to congratulate me for my courage. I love that she starts crying like a child because she is overwhelmed with the nostalgia. She was 4 years old when she left Japan, and she just has all these memories coming back to her of all the places that she went, that she loved to go when she was a small child. And with the context and nostalgia comes childish actions, I guess. This is what I mean when I say she kind of has a childlike mentality, but with the life experience of an adult. I mean, to me, this just makes complete sense. This is just normal Amélie Nothomb. This is what she does. She just walks through Japan and suddenly she's 5 years old again and starts crying over a train ticket. She and her friends spend the rest of their stay contemplating temples, gardens, museums, and Mount Fuji, while Amélie grapples with her unrequited love for this country and its culture. She describes a love that is too perfect. On the back of the book, she says, all return is impossible. The most absolute love does not give you the key. And I think what she means by this is, I don't know if this is going to make sense, but like, in my experience at least, when you find somebody who is exactly like you, who kind of has all the same tastes as you, who has all the same interests as you, who has the same opinions of you, the same like outlook on life as you, you do fall head over heels in love with them, and it is a form of perfect love. It feels amazing. It feels very validating to have somebody who, oh, you're just like me, and it kind of makes you feel better about your own self and your own like weird quirkiness or whatever. Again, in my experience, being friends with people like that or being in a relationship with them is just not possible, because as the saying goes, you are your own worst enemy, and it does really get grating because there are no surprises. It's this person is a mirror image of me. We're the same. We think everything the same. You can't kind of teach them anything and they can't teach you anything, and I don't know, in my experience that gets really frustrating. And I remember having a friend like this when I was at secondary school and I went on a 2-week holiday with them, just the two of us. After 1 week, she was beginning to get on my nerves, and after 1 week, she had the opportunity to return home, And she was like, no, you know what, I'm going to stay. Like, I was staying 2 weeks, she was staying 1 week, but she was like, no, let's stay 2 weeks together. After 2 weeks, I wanted to absolutely kill her. Like, I just could not stand her anymore. After that, we actually saw less of each other, and our relationship was better when we saw less of each other. And years later, I remember telling her about this, about, oh, remember when we were on holiday together, and after 2 weeks, I just wanted to kill you. And she was like, yeah, I felt the same way about you. So I was not at all surprised. I don't know, I guess that what she's describing in this book is that, but with a country and not a person. At least that's my understanding of it anyway. In this book, Amélie does what she does best, that is to mix her unique way of seeing the world with, like, an adult child, with philosophy and her own specific brand of humour, in a pleasing book to enjoy with a cup of herbal tea on a relaxing afternoon. So that was it. That was The Impossible Return by Amélie Nothomb. So if you can speak French, you can already go and enjoy this book. If you can't, keep an eye out for it. I will link, whenever this book gets translated, I will link it in the description. So yeah, that's The Impossible Return by Amélie Nothomb. It might have a different title when it gets translated to English. I don't even know. And all of this will be in the description. So that's it from me. If you like Amélie Nothomb books, I have some more videos about her books that I will link up here. Do tell me what you think. Have you read any of her books? Which one's your favourite? Tell me in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please like, share, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.